The guy takes a gun. Takes a gun and points it into me. So I was a part of the biggest manhunt in the history of Slovenia, apparently. So this is fucking incredible. This situation, this challenge for me was an initiation. Because there are no fucking chances that this can happen in the middle of the forest, exactly that time when I was for half an hour in this forest, that this guy comes running through the road, finding me. I feel super blessed that I experienced this situation that taught me that the presence and peace is a superpower. Because any of those situations coming from fear could cost me life. I found out that I'm not dealing with an evil person that wants to do me harm, but with a very fragile person that is on a run and doesn't know what the fuck happened to him. He said that he was in Serbia. That's really far away. And 2 days he didn't remember anything, and now he's here. It was like from a movie. It was like from GTA game. I remember playing this game. I remember being that guy in a game, and now I was with this guy in a car together looking for which car would be the best. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I saw that this situation is not happening to me, but it's happening for me, and it's happening to him, for him. It's happening to both of us. I said, like, you're also a good guy, you know, and he said to me, you know, if you lived my life, you know there's nothing that can help me. Just seeing him eat this apple, he was like, oh my god, this apple is so good, I didn't eat for so long. That was the last day of his life. There were the last moments when he was talking peacefully with some random man. I'm just getting emotional right now. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel so bad for him. I saw he was a good guy. He just suffered so much, and every moment we have an opportunity to change, to do things differently. So, where to start? Well, yeah, I finally decided that I want to share with you a story, a real story that happened to me. I think it was exactly 1 month ago. A story that actually felt like I was in a fucking surreal movie. You know, the movies like Wrong Turn, the horror movies, or the movies where people get kidnapped, taken as hostages. Yeah, I thought like this is impossible to happen to me, especially to happen in Slovenia, and specifically in deep forest of Kočevje. This is like the south part of Slovenia where we have like this ancient deep forest. So this story started in the morning, let's say. It was unbelievably peaceful morning. I woke up at friend's place. They went to work, so I took a lot of time for meditation, to do some movement practice, and then I went to see a little tiny waterfall on the way down to this forest region, and it became even more peaceful. So I was practically sleeping next to a waterfall like a little creature, really connected to the earth. Was walking barefoot. It was like a timelessness, expanding and reaching my depths. And so after this beautiful morning, I decided to go down on a gathering in this eco village where a few of my friends live, and there I should meet with different friends from Slovenia. And as I was driving there, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I decided to stop like 15 minutes before reaching this destination. It just came to me like I need some time. Let's make a coffee in the forest, and I decided to call my girlfriend. She was in Greece at that time. And so I do this. I just go in this deep forest road. It was still the asphalt road. I turn out of this road, I park my car, and I was maybe like 10 meters from the road. I put the camping gas, I make myself coffee, I set up everything, make a call to my dear girlfriend, and yeah, and we had a really nice talk. So I had a slightest feeling that something strange could happen. Well, and then the movie started, and before I start talking about the whole experience and story, I want to say why I'm sharing this. It's because this situation, this challenge for me was an initiation. I don't know into what, but you know, in many cultures, men have to go through some kind of initiation to become men. In our culture, we don't have that. We used to have army, but army gave different values to men. It was discipline. It was still part of patriarchy. It gives you discipline. It makes you strong, but it's still not the real initiation. It can also program men in the way that country wants to program them. And most of all, it can also teach that there are dangerous people somewhere, that this culture is full of evil people that we need to treat as enemies. So I don't mean that kind of initiation, but I definitely had an initiation, because from that moment, I'm completely different person, and I'm still realizing every day what's changing inside of me. And so I was a part of the biggest manhunt in Slovenia, in the history of Slovenia, apparently. So this is fucking incredible. I the more times I tell this story, the more unbelievable it seems to me. But let's go into it, because it's full of teachings. It taught me so much. So as I was talking to my girlfriend in the forest, I hear a guy coming up from this road, which is 1 hour away from any village, 1 hour of walk, maybe more. He comes with this motorcycle helmet, his t-shirt turned upside down, tired, dirty, and he was holding himself like this. He came to me and he said, he was speaking Croatian, so he said, "Hey brother, please come, help me, something's going on, you need to help." And I said to my girlfriend, "Hey, sorry, there's a guy that needs my help, and I'm gonna come back in a minute." So I approach him, As I'm approaching him, I ask him, hey, what's going on? How can I help? And in that moment, the guy takes a gun. Takes a gun and points it into me. And he just says, let's go. Pack everything, go in the car, and let's go. That moment was first time in my life. Well, second time, but the first time was not that serious. Where I was facing that, it was one fucking trigger away. And my whole body was flushed with such tingling sensation, freezing sensation. But it's kind of like, and now I'm here, present. I don't know, maybe it was adrenaline, but that from that moment on, I started to surprise myself, because at first I was like, yeah, okay, we're going, but first I'm gonna pack everything, you know? And I don't know why I didn't take it so seriously. I start slowly packing. The guy is a bit anxious, definitely very confused, and he's like, go, come on. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take time to pack and we go. Usually I wouldn't say that when I'm threatened to death. I mean, nobody would say that, right? But I did it anyway, and the guy just went actually in my car and he was just waiting for me. And while he was waiting for me, he was started to ask me questions, and he was like, which date it is? And I say, I don't know, 17th of July. He's like, okay, where am I? I say, in Kočevje. Which country? In Slovenia. He's like, what the fuck? How did I end up in Slovenia? And then I noticed that the guy is more confused than me. He's more afraid than me. And he's like a ticking bomb. He's like a dog with disease, you know, that if you approach him too much, if you are, especially if I was in fear state, he can just pull a trigger. He can, it's so unpredictable. And something helped me, that I stayed present, and I packed everything. We go in the car, we start driving, and the guy just had one mission in his mind. It was to find a car that he can steal, and I don't know why he didn't steal my car. So something happens. We had an interaction that was not like I'm a victim and he's a perpetrator, but it was like, because there are no fucking chances that this can happen in the middle of the forest, exactly that time when I was for half an hour in this forest, that this guy comes running through the road for 2 hours, as he said, finding me. There's no fucking chance. There's no chance that this can happen. So, and then he started asking me like, how the fuck did I end up here? And then I find out he was running for 2 hours now. He didn't sleep for 2 days. Yesterday was really cold, so he was sleeping in the forest. He was super hungry and thirsty. And I found out that I'm not dealing with an evil person that wants to do me harm, but with a very fragile person that is on a run and doesn't know what the fuck happened to him. And somehow he trusted me. Somehow something in me was like, okay, because I heard the thoughts coming from my fear, and they were telling me, you need to run away. You need to push him out of the car. You need to hit yourself with something and then run. You need to stop, because I was passing a police training station like 6 times with him. I even told him, it's police here, you know. And he just said, don't be stupid. And yeah, I'm happy that I wasn't stupid, because any of those situations coming from fear could cost me life. And yeah, so anytime these thoughts came, I was like, no, be present. You are here now, and until this guy steps out of the car voluntarily, I'm gonna be with him. Like, I'm here now. I can resist it, I can fight it, I can be fucking afraid, or I can be present. And and I need to tell you that that was like divinely timed in a way, because 3-4 hours before um, confronting this guy, when I was at this waterfall, I actually took a microdose of San Pedro cactus, which is a psychedelic cactus with a mescaline substance. And this substance, it's mescaline, it's called mescaline for a reason, because it's masculine, because it amplifies the masculine principle within us. And usually when I take this microdose, it puts me in such presence that no thoughts, practically it's kind of like the head is empty of any thoughts that are not here and now. And I'm super fucking grateful for this cactus and that I took it, because I think it was guiding me through that journey, and it it showed me my potential in that kind of threatening situations. So as I kept my presence and I kept asking him questions, I was really curious, and I saw that this guy is actually suffering. Something really hard happened to him, and I was asking him, where were you the last time? He didn't remember. He said that he was in Serbia. That's really far away. And 2 days he didn't remember anything, and now he's here. Maybe he was inventing this story, but as far as I felt, he was really confused. And something bad happened to him, or he actually ended up in some fucked up situation. Maybe he was involved in some dangerous stuff, maybe part of mafia, maybe because later on they found out that he was a part of a special unit in Serbia. He's a Croatian though, and maybe he was on missions, maybe he got PTSD, I don't know, but somehow I gave him a sense of safety, and maybe I was the first person after so long time that sees him, that is not afraid of him, as he is maybe afraid of himself. That's why he needed to have a gun pointed at me throughout almost the whole ride. He was sitting like here in the back. And so he asked me if I have some money, that I need to give him money. I said, sorry man, I have like 40 euros in my pocket and maybe 20 euros on my card. And he was more like, why the fuck, why are you going to your friends with 40 euros? What's wrong with you? And then I start telling him, like my lifestyle as an artist and as the one who wants to walk my own path and not be employed full-time job, that my life is like up and down. I'm facing a lot of times being on zero, though it's not actually zero, because my family really supports me, and I'm super grateful for that. So, but I have this blessing opportunity to take time for myself and to work on my passions. And as he was listening to me, somehow he was inspired, and also at some moments then he started to ask me like what kind of music I listen, where am I from. It was part of like, he was super strategic. I needed to show him my ID card. He found my name, my address, so he used that at the end also to say like, just don't do anything stupid, because I know what's your name, I know where you live. Very strategic to keep himself safe and be protected. But yeah, we actually during being kidnapped by this guy, we actually created some kind of a relationship because it lasted for 2.5 hours, driving up and down the same road, searching together, which is insane, together searching for a car that he will steal. So we ended up on some side roads waiting, the people stopped. He saw there was kid inside, he said, no fucking way, I'm not gonna kidnap family. We found old people, he said, no way, I don't want them to have a heart attack. So he had some moral in himself. He was only looking for people like me, single men, like solo man who's not too old. But for some reason he said, like, I trust you, you're a good man, and I want to liberate you, but my needs are too strong and you need to help me. And I needed to help him. And then he got a bit anxious already. We also stopped. I gave him some water to drink. I gave him apples, and just seeing him eat this apple, he was like, oh my god, this apple is so good. I didn't eat for so long. A big compassion awakened in me for him, and I saw that this situation is not happening to me, but it's happening for me, and it's happening to him, for him. It's happening to both of us. So as we got some snacks, some water, we went further. He said, like, there's no fucking, where the fuck am I? Because there is no car here. So can you take me to some big shops? So we went to Kočevje, to this bigger town in this region. First we stopped at Lidl shop, and it was like from a movie. It was like from GTA game. I remember playing this game. I remember being that guy in a game, and now I was with this guy in a car, together looking for which car would be the best. Like, what the fuck is going on? So he found out there's like 20 cameras. I didn't know that little shop has so many cameras everywhere. He said, no way, let's go to Hofer. We go to Hofer, and he's anxious, like, I think people are see me. No, we shouldn't do it here. How about this too? No. And he's very picky, waiting for the perfect moment, and then he gets fed up with this waiting, and he says, like, now you will go on the road and you will stop somebody forcefully with your car. And as I kept this presence, I set a boundary right there. I was like, no way, man, I'm not going back to the road. I really want to go to my friends. They're waiting for me. They might be worried, because I should already be there, and I'm not gonna risk our lives and lives of others, and I don't want my car to be destroyed. How about, there's another shop there. It's insane. I needed to collaborate with him. It's insane. I was judging myself so much, like, what the fuck am I doing? But you know, of course I want to liberate myself and get out of this in one piece. So we go to Spar, and we parked there, and he was a bit on the edge. He was like, there's nothing here, I think we should go, la 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 la. And I'm like, I see a guy coming from Spar. And I said to him, how about this guy? And he sees him carrying some food and coming into this big new van, I think Volkswagen, gray color. And I see him immediately shifting his whole vibe, because in between these 2.5 hours he forgot that he's running, that he's searching for something. He was actually in peace. And I also told him that I can give him money for bus, and he can throw this gun away, and he has a potential to change his destination right now. Like, I said like, you're also a good guy, you know, and he said to me, you know, if you lived my life, you know there's nothing that can help me. It was very hard to be confronted with that. So yeah, he sees this guy, he puts his helmet back on, full Grand Theft Auto mode. He just says thank you, goodbye, and I say to him, just please don't hurt anyone, please. Sretno. I said good luck. So he goes to this car, the guy is already in the car, he goes from the other side, opens the car, puts the gun in his head, steps inside, throws him literally out of this van, and just fucking starts the van, and he's on the road. 5 people saw this. Immediately they start calling police. I start shaking. I think that's when I could actually surrender, and I don't know, I felt safe again. Even though I also felt safe in that moment. That's what's actually really strange to me. And of course part of it was also that I was on a microdose of San Pedro. But I start running with the car. I'm like, I start crying. I call my girlfriend immediately because she was also worried, you know, I didn't say to her anything. I call her, and I'm like, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm fucking alive. And I couldn't even tell her what the fuck happened, because I was in such a shock. It was such like, oh my god, I'm out of it. And I just kept driving through this town. I got lost completely in it. I say to her, please just give me a minute, I really need to focus right now. I just want to go straight to my friends now. So I go out of this town and I drive directly to this place, and my friend waited me there, dear brother Alish. I just hug him and I just start crying again, all over again, feeling so blessed that I have... Oh, just wait, the wind is very strong, I don't know if you can hear me. So I just felt really blessed that I have a community, that I have friends, that I have brothers and sisters, and that I have also a family that supports me, that I can lean on, that I can open and talk transparently and not be judged. So the guy was really like, bravo, brother. It's gonna be a beautiful story for the campfire at night. So yeah, I got some food, and when I was full I called the police. They already told me that they already got the report from other people that he already robbed another gas station. And I was like, shit, like, he's really on a run again, and he doesn't know what he's running from and what he wants. That was the last day of his life. There were the last moments when he was talking peacefully with some random man that he shared that he loves rock and roll, that the apple is really good. I'm just getting emotional right now. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel so bad for him. I saw he was a good guy. He just suffered so much, and I realized that all the evil things that people do in this world, all the little destructive things that we do to each other and to ourselves, they come from wounds, they come from our traumas, they come from experiences that marked us so deeply. And sometimes those situations are so strong and they are accumulating, and when people don't integrate them and transform them, it becomes a part of identity. They can become a full victim mode, They can become evil, but they think like they're doing right. They need to do this, they need to protect themselves. So I feel deep compassion for this guy. I feel super blessed that I experienced this situation that taught me that the presence and peace is a superpower. That I don't need to be afraid of someone who is in fear because they are dangerous only because they are in fear. I am dangerous only when I'm in fear, only when I'm not trusting. And this presence saved me. I don't know what would happen if I would react from fear. So that's why I'm sharing this, because I feel it's really valuable. It's really valuable that we trust ourselves and that we see a human, a warm, loving human in everyone, no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing to us. Because they're doing this to themselves. Because I do this to myself when I'm reacting, working from reaction. When I'm out of focus and I hit a tree, I'm doing that to myself. When I react and yell at somebody and hurt loved ones, I'm doing it to myself. They're just an outlet. They're just a target. I was just a target for him to potentially realize that he is love, that he can change, that every moment we can choose differently. But not for him. He continued the survival mode. I don't know what was happening to him. Maybe he was really threatened, and maybe his life was questioned. Maybe somebody was chasing him. I don't know. We will never know. Such a pity. I would love to know. And so he ended up actually being hunted, being chased by drones, helicopters, special units, policemen through the deep forest of Kocheoye. After he robbed the gas station, he took one hostage. He ran to the forest with him. The two police women came. He disarmed them and took their mobile phones. He was a special unit. He was a commando. You cannot fight with this guy. I'm so happy I didn't even try that, because I would be done. And then he went into a house, took another hostage. So he was with two people inside of the house. They were looking for him for 20 hours. As they found him, he also was really hungry, and he was talking to these hostages that he's really tired, if he can sleep somewhere, if they have something to eat. Very strange dynamic. You know, you're a hostage and he's asking for help. So fucking surrealistic. Then they find him, they rescued both hostages, and then they start shooting in the house. He starts shooting back, and as they found him, he was dead. I didn't watch the news lately. The abductions showed if the bullet was from police, or maybe he committed suicide in this, being so stuck with no exit. And that's how the story ended. And this was all over the news. This was everywhere. I don't know how I could be a part of this, but it was a deep initiation into trusting myself, into trusting that my compassion is not a weak point, but it's my strength, it's my power, and that I will never underestimate that power of seeing another human being as a human being. And I believe that that's how we can heal together. You know, when a murderer is stigmatized for his whole life and locked in a prison cell for the rest of his life for a little tiny moment where he committed this horrific thing. But that's not all he is. He was once a baby, he was once a child who wanted to play. So if we can see those people as human beings, and it actually starts with us. We all did some things, we can regret some things, we judge ourselves for some things, and we see ourselves as this broken person. But if we can find this compassionate moment inside, this loving heart that is full of acceptance, we can heal that part. We can invite it back. We can say, you know, you did this, but that doesn't define you. Nothing defines us. Every moment we have an opportunity to change, to do things differently. And I chose that this is my strength. And I chose, and also this expanded through my life. In last month I realized that my relationships are much better because I can stand in peace. I can find that moment of presence. It's beautiful here. I am on the top of Škofja Loka, above the old castle, and there are even older castle. So I'm sitting actually on the ruins of this medieval castle. It's a beautiful spot to be. So yeah, I don't want to lose my track now, but that's it. That's what happened for me. And yeah, I'm sharing this because I think there's so much valuable lessons that we can take from this. And thank you for listening. Thanks to all of you who actually supported me. Thanks for my family, my friends, my loved ones. Thank you, a guy from Croatia, for coming into my life and showing me and putting me into this test. Wish you all best, and I hope no one needs to go through that kind of experience. I hope it's the last time I go through this experience. Yeah, all the best. Thank you. This life is magnificent in all shades. We can accept our lives in all shades. They make it complete, they make it whole. Darkness doesn't live without light, light doesn't exist without darkness. Let's not resist those moments, let's not resist those feelings that may be unpleasant, that we resist, that we want to run away from. Let's integrate them. Let's become whole again. Every part of us that we bring back makes us more coherent, makes us safer for ourselves and for others, makes this world more integrated from all those hundreds of years that we lived in very broken world, far away from natural rhythm, far away from being a community. And now we're remembering, and these kind of situations remember me, that I'm a valuable part of this mosaic that we are co-creating, and that I can influence the world around me by being true to myself, by being compassionate, and that we always influence There's like a geometrical web that is always changing based on how we live. So let's make this geometry a sacred geometry. It's all possible here. Let's start now. Thank you. Ciao.